Nothing else matters but this. This is the #1 tip for growing and retaining long, natural hair. Of course, I am speaking from my own experience, and this is definitely my opinion. So if you disagree, that is fine. But in my experience, and in my opinion, and in all of my trial and error for almost 10 years of looking after my natural hair, this is the one thing that matters if you want to retain your length. Now, it is known, of course, natural hair has got many needs. It's got a need for moisture, for protein, it's got a need for hydration, okay? It's got a need for lubrication, it's got a need to protective style. I do talk about looking after your scalp, choosing quality products, choosing quality tools to use on your hair. All these things are important, but none of these things matter if this one thing is not mastered. If you have not understood this one thing, everything is pretty much in vain when it comes to retaining long hair or having long hair. So what's this thing? The one thing and the most important thing when it comes to length retention is to pretty much handle your hair like silk. When I say like silk, I mean each and every time that you're touching your hair, handle it like you're handling silk, like you're handling a delicate newborn. This is not always practical. This is not always doable. Sometimes we're busy, we're frustrated, there's no time, etc. However, natural hair is so fragile, #1. You're dealing with a lot of single strand knots, particularly if you wear your hair in curly or kinky styles. And so type 4 hair is mostly high porosity, in my opinion. So you have all those things that make it so that the hair is more fragile than other hair types. Of course, having the curl in the hair as well means that at every bend is a weak point. So the hair is more prone to breakage. When we were younger, we would handle rough, like the hair looks full and rough, like it can handle anything. And sometimes that's a misconception. You think, okay, because it looks like this, so we should handle it like this. But it's actually quite the opposite. When we were younger, I was just saying, we would handle our hair with so much roughness and, we didn't really care. And that's the reason why a lot of us didn't see length retention. Not necessarily because of the other practices that we're doing, like using grease or long-term protective styling and whatever else. Of course, they're important, but the main thing is not allowing the hair to break. Because if you rough handle it, then it's gonna break. If you do this, it's gonna snap. If you're gonna do this, it's gonna snap. Now, of course, this is not to say that you always be able to handle your hair like silk, but in a season where you're trying to gain maximum length, I would encourage you to try and really be very conscious and be aware when you're handling your hair to do it gently. A lot of people ask me, Pililo, what's the secret? Coily Diaries, what's the secret? How do you get your hair like that? Is that all your hair? How? What products do you use? And when I come back and say, look, it's all to do with the handling and the technique to avoid breaking the hair. Sometimes I actually don't get a response back because people think I'm hiding, I'm gatekeeping something. I'm not. It really is that simple. If you master how to handle your hair very gently, you would have mastered retaining natural hair length. Now, before you come out here and say to me, look, that's not true because protein treatments matter and deep conditioning matters and moisturizing matters and trimming your hair matters and protective styling matters. Yes, it all matters. It all matters. If you don't moisturize your hair, it's going to be brittle. If you don't do protein treatments, it's going to be weak. If you don't trim your ends, you're dealing with lots of single strand knots. So when you detangle there, you have a bit of resistance. Of course, it matters. It all matters. However, even if you moisturize the heck out of your hair, even if you do a protein treatment for days, even if you protective style for 6 months, even if you use expensive products, whatever, if when you're handling your hair, you're breaking your hair, it's not going to retain its length. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. as you can imagine, there's a lot of things that can break the hair. So now you're feeling burdened, like how, where am I going to get the time, etc. I understand. You're not going to always be able to handle it gently, but for the most part, or when you can, do it really gently for maximum length retention. Situations that can make the hair, I guess, more susceptible to breakage is mainly combing, brushing, detangling. That's a big one. Styling, parting the hair, the way you sleep, like you sleep on cotton, that kind of thing can really predispose the hair to breakage. So you want to pay attention to those. Use quality tools. Detangle gently. Detangle, don't do it too often. For example, slip on a silk scarf. Tuck your ends in and keep them away, okay? Now, obviously, I'm in a stage where I want us to find a balance. So there's two kinds of naturals. There are those that want to make the sacrifice and just go for the goal. Sacrifice styles, sacrifice the looks, sacrifice enjoying the hair, just get the goal. That's okay. But then there's other naturals that want to do both, okay? Find a balance between the two, and that's fine as well. You can still enjoy your hair, but when it's time to put it away, when it's time to be gentle, do that. When it's time to enjoy it and have it out, of course, enjoy your hair. But then when it's time to be gentle and to really retain that length, do it well, do it diligently. So yeah, here are some tips for you to just try and minimize breakage and really try and retain every inch as much as you can, okay? I already alluded to this, but you must look after your hair when you're detangling with tools, particularly. When you're combing your hair, when you're separating the hair, when you're raking the hair, that is the place where the most breakage happens. So you want to do it carefully and diligently, patiently. Planning is a big one. Don't do it when you're tired. Don't do it when you're frustrated, you're pressed for time, you have to be somewhere, your baby is crying. It's not going to go down well. You're going to lose hair. So plan for your hair handling. I know it sounds like a lot of work, and I've done a video talking about the time the time and effort that's required to look after natural hair. Go check that video out. But yeah, you have to plan if you want to be successful. If you want to be successful at this, I have found that planning has helped me. Set aside time. If you're a busy person, actually, make time for your hair instead of neglecting it and forgetting about it and just not doing anything. If you want length, set time. Organize yourself. Get all the tools, the products, everything that you need, to be able to do the task. If it's detangling, you have your, really hydrating and, slippery conditioner. You've got, high quality tools, or if you're just using your fingers and your fingers are looked after, your nails are nice and clean and manicured, because these things can tag at the hair as well very easily. Even just running my hand, if I were to do this, yeah, some things will get snagged in there. It's the nature of the hair. So prepare and just organize everything you need for that particular work for your hair. Take your time. Rushing is going to set you back. I've done this before, even just with my previous takedown. There was a time when I was frustrated. I detangled all my hair and I thought, oh, I'm done. And then I touched this certain portion and there was still something. Oh man, I just went in there. Not like that, but it was close to that. I was not happy to find that there was another section that still needed, my attention. But if you can do it, do it a section, go about your day, come back and do it. That might help with just the frustration that can come with just dealing with textured hair. And overall, just use the experience to learn your hair. In handling our hair, sometimes we just think about the work that's involved, but if we were to change our attitude to look at it, okay, this is a learning curve for myself, for my kids, to be able to understand my hair better and make the right decisions, buy the right products, find the right routine. So use all these encounters with your hair to help you learn your hair, love your hair, fall in love with your hair, look after your hair, enjoy your hair, etc. I hope this video was helpful. If you want long hair, the one thing that you must master is really handling your hair really gently. I hope you guys found value in this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.